Many people grow up believing that being perfect is the best way to live. From a young age, we are often told to do better, try harder, and avoid mistakes. We see people being praised when they get high scores, do their work perfectly, or never fail in public. Over time, this idea becomes very deep inside our minds. We start to believe that perfection means success, respect, and even love. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself a simple question? Are you always trying to be perfect? And if yes, why? Trying to be perfect often starts with good intentions. You want to do your best. You want to avoid disappointment, both for yourself and for others. You want to feel proud of what you do. These goals are not wrong. In fact, they can push you to grow and improve. However, the problem begins when the idea of perfection becomes too strong. When nothing feels good enough, even when you work hard, something inside you slowly becomes tired. People who always try to be perfect often feel a lot of pressure. They set very high standards for themselves. They believe they must do everything right all the time. If they make a mistake, even a small one, they feel disappointed or ashamed. They may think, I am not good enough, or I should have done better. These thoughts can repeat again and again, making the mind feel heavy. Over time, this pressure does not help them grow. Instead, it can make them feel stuck. One common sign of perfectionism is fear of failure. When you want to be perfect, failure feels very scary. You may avoid trying new things because you are afraid you will not do them well. You may delay starting a task because you are waiting for the perfect moment. You may spend too much time fixing small details, even when they do not really matter. In the end, trying to avoid mistakes can stop you from moving forward. Another effect of perfectionism is that it can take away joy. When you are always focused on results, you may forget to enjoy the process. You finish one task, but instead of feeling happy, you quickly move to the next one. You tell yourself that you will relax later, when everything is done. But later never really comes. There's always something more to improve, something more to fix. Life starts to feel like a long list of things to do, not something to enjoy. Perfectionism can also affect how you see yourself. When your self-worth depends on being perfect, you start to judge yourself very harshly. You may compare yourself to others and feel that you are always behind. Social media can make this even worse. People usually show only the best parts of their lives online. When you compare your real life to someone else's perfect image, you may feel that you are failing, even when you are doing fine. It is important to understand that perfection is not real. Every human being makes mistakes. No one is perfect all the time. Even people who seem very successful have moments of doubt, failure, and fear. They just do not always show these moments to the world. When you try to be perfect, you are chasing something that does not truly exist. This chase can make you feel tired and empty. Many people confuse perfection with excellence, but they are not the same. Excellence means doing your best while accepting that mistakes are part of learning. Perfection means believing that mistakes are unacceptable. When you aim for excellence, you allow yourself to grow. When you aim for perfection, you often feel afraid to try. This difference is very important, but not everyone sees it clearly. Sometimes the habit of trying to be perfect comes from childhood. Maybe you grew up in an environment where mistakes were criticized strongly. Maybe you felt that love or approval depended on your performance. As a result, You learn to hide your weaknesses and show only your strengths. Even as an adult, this pattern can continue. You may still feel that you must prove your value all the time. Trying to be perfect can also affect relationships. When you are very hard on yourself, you may also become hard on others. You may expect too much from people around you, or you may hide your true feelings because you do not want to appear weak. This can create distance between you and others. Real connection often comes from honesty, not perfection. Letting go of perfection does not mean giving up or becoming careless. It means changing the way you see mistakes. Instead of seeing them as proof of failure, you can see them as part of the journey. Every mistake teaches you something. Every imperfect moment shows that you are human. When you accept this, you may feel lighter and more free. Learning to accept imperfection takes time. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. You may worry that if you stop trying to be perfect, you will lose control or become lazy. But in reality, many people find the opposite. When they release some pressure, they feel more motivated and creative. They feel more connected to themselves and to others. One helpful step is to notice your inner voice. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself when things go wrong. Would you speak to a friend in the same way? If not, why do you speak to yourself like that? Learning to be kinder to yourself does not make you weak. It makes you stronger and more balanced. Another step is to set realistic goals. Instead of asking yourself to do everything perfectly, ask yourself to do it well enough. Sometimes good enough is truly enough. This mindset can help you move forward instead of feeling stuck. It can help you finish tasks and feel satisfied, even if everything is not perfect. It is also important to allow yourself to rest. People who chase perfection often feel guilty when they relax. They believe they should always be productive. But rest is not a reward. It is a basic need. Without rest, the mind becomes tired and negative. Taking breaks can actually help you do better work in the long run. When you stop trying to be perfect, you may discover new parts of yourself. You may feel more curious and open. You may try new things without worrying too much about the result. You may laugh more at your mistakes instead of blaming yourself. Life may start to feel more real and meaningful. Many people say that their happiest moments happened when things were not perfect. Some of the best memories come from unexpected situations, small mistakes, or simple moments. These experiences remind us that life is not meant to be controlled completely. It is meant to be lived. If you are always trying to be perfect, it may be helpful to ask yourself what you are afraid of. Are you afraid of being judged? Are you afraid of not being enough? These fears are very human. You are not alone in feeling them. But facing these fears gently can help you grow in a healthier way. In the end, perfection is not what makes life meaningful. Growth, connection, and honesty matter much more. You do not need to be perfect to be valuable. You do not need to have everything under control to be worthy of respect. Being human means being imperfect, and that is not something to hide. So, the next time you feel pressure to be perfect, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that doing your best is enough. Remind yourself that mistakes do not define you. They are simply part of your story. And that story, with all its imperfections, is already meaningful. You may find that when you stop chasing perfection, you start to feel more alive. You may feel more present in your daily life. You may enjoy small moments more deeply. You may accept yourself a little more each day. And in that acceptance, you may discover a kind of peace that perfection never gave you.